with a band who have lasted as long as Status Quo has, there are bound to have been the odd one or two what you might look at retrospectively as bad decisions. Maybe they were bad at the time, but it takes a long time, I think, sometimes to realise that. Occasionally, that is taken out of their hands, but it still goes out to Status Quo, like it still adds to their legion, even if they didn't necessarily have a hand in it. And I know that there are lots of fans out there who will have many different opinions, but in this one I want to talk primarily about album covers. Is there a necessarily bad Quo album cover, an official one approved by the band? What about In Search of the Fourth Chord, for example? Although that does have some bonuses. The artwork is good, it's got a concept to it, and while it might look kind of gimmicky, it does actually suit the music that's inside it. The same that could be said for Thirsty Work, for example. You know, that bottle being kind of a symbol, I guess, for the lighter side of it. Maybe it's a light ale or a light beer or something, and the music is lighter and not necessarily Quo-like, depending on your point of view. Ain't Complaining, with the Charvel guitars on the cover, with Quo looking more like a 1980s act than the Quo of old. There are loads of examples out there, but I'm going to show you one which I've seen talked about on forums, and people are quite shocked by it. And I have to be really careful with YouTube. So this is the Quo compilation Just for the Record, released in June 1979. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. The band did not have a hand in this. This is one of those famed, in the Quo community anyway, Pye compilations. This is actually one of the better ones. Once I read out the track listing for this album, it's actually a decent album made up of tracks from Mark Kelly's Dog of Two Head and singles from that particular period. But this front cover, showing what I'm going to describe as abuse on a lady, on a female, is quite shocking. It's just shocking, isn't it? It's not one of the best decisions. I guess it catches your eye, and it was another time, etc. But I'm putting this down there for one of the worst Quo album covers ever, official or unofficial. But listen to this track listing, right? In my chair, something's going on in my head. Umlatung, Railroad, Lucky Lady, Na Na Na, Mean Girl, Someone's Learning, Gotta Go Home, Spinning Wheel Blues, Down the Dustpipe, and Gurdendula. I mean, what a cracking track listing from the Pye years. You know, none of this, like, let's put a contemporary-ish photo on the back and then put Black Veils of Melancholy on it. This, you know, is rocking. You can see this band and go, yeah, I can hear it's the same band. It's not Little Miss Nothing or whatever. It's not a different period. Well, it is a different period, but in a different way, right? It's the same kind of formula. It's the same idea. But this front cover is pretty bad, I think. Did you pick this up back in the day? Now, I actually did some research for this one, and I feel like it came on red vinyl like that. So look, it even looks really nice, right? Really nice. Really nice, fancy vinyl. I feel like they've actually reissued this occasionally. And we've got here, if you saw the previous video about Dog of Two Head, go and check it out, where I wasn't sure if it was a new, you know, an original pressing or not. Well, this has actually got a Pye Records label on it, as opposed to a reissue, such as PRT. So there you go, that is what a Pye label looks like. I'm going to look at it with more detail myself so that if I see one, I know it's actually real. I know what it looks like. So, yeah, this album, the contents are stellar, and the notes on the back are written by John Shearlaw, who wrote a book around this time, Shearlaw, which is a must-read, I think. It was like the authorised autobiography or something, wasn't it? Admittedly, I haven't read it. Maybe I should do one of these days. I think it goes for a relatively good price on eBay and Vinted and such. So yeah, once again, having trouble getting that in. So yeah, this is just for the record. We'll put that down. What do you think of this album? Do let me know in the comments below.